It's been years since we reviewed a bike. My helmet is musty, my gloves are stiff, and my jacket smells like a old space heater. But let's get back into it. Let's go back to the recent past. Of the ancient year of 2008, there was a motorcycle back then which sent mothers into their pastor's office to pray for their sons. There was a bike which made fathers write their sons out of the family will. And there was a bike that made police departments redefine their pursuit directives. It was a 420-pound machine with a 998cc inline 4 with a compression ratio of 12.7 to 1, fed by 2 ram air intakes and attached to a 6-speed gearbox and a big thick chain which made 156 horsepower at the rear wheel. That sent that bike and rider to 60 miles an hour in 2.94 seconds and 0 to 100 miles an hour in 5.5 seconds. If you took this bike to a drag strip, it would do a quarter mile in 9.88 seconds at 145 miles an hour. It was the Yamaha YZF-R1, but every rider knew it simply as the R1. The top speed was between 182 and 189 miles an hour, and it had a range of 146 miles. And the R1 owes its popularity to one man. If it weren't for Valentino Rossi, the Yamaha R1 might be a third-chair trombone in the orchestra of superbikes instead of the soloing tenor sax that it is today. I'm going to talk about how that happened right after I let you know that this is the last RCR giveaway. I'm done. Justin and Eric changed the name of the company. It's now called Fan at Them. I need to go to the new copy here. Click the link on the description and go to fanathem.com/regularcars and buy a limited edition collectible or digital download. You not only get the chance to get some cool merch, you get a chance to win this Yamaha R1. And finally, send off this channel, support regular car reviews, and my ability to continue delivering awesome free content to you guys, my fans. Thank you so much. Click the link on the description, go to fanathem.com. Up and at them! Up at fan at them! It's fan at them, but only one T. Grab some limited edition channel merch or a digital download and get your automatic entry and a chance to win this YZF-R1. Thanks for the support and good luck. And I'm going out on top with a tuned R1 because of course this is a tuned R1 because just like Corvettes, WRXs and STIs, having a stock machine is never enough. Remember how I said these things made 156 to the rear wheel? Well, this black and red R1 is making 180 horsepower at the rear wheel. And the sensation is alien. When you ride this bike around town, it's like a little kid who just walked through the gates of Knoebels or Hershey Park, or name your amusement park. A little kid. And he's like, come on, I want to go. We're going to miss the rides. Why are you walking so slow? Anyway, 180 wheel horsepower in a bike that weighs 420 pounds, blaze every day. What's it feel like? It feels like this one time. One time, I got high at an Airbnb in Bethany Beach, Delaware. And I'm there on the back porch. And one of my friends said, yo, let's drive to the beach and go in the water at night. And I'm there on the back deck holding a meatball sub with two hands, thinking, "Oh no, oh no, no, no. No one can drive cars. They move too fast. No one can react fast enough to drive a car. You have to make a new decision. You have to make a new thought every second. No one can think that fast. Please, let's just stay here on the deck and eat meatball subs." That's what this R1 feels like when the engine begins to wake up at 4,000 RPM. Unreal power surges from between your legs as you sink your chest down against the ergonomic fuel tank. You tuck your arms into curved indentations on the sides of the fuel tank, made to keep your arms and elbows inside the calm air behind the bike's fairing and windshield. And with a daring flash in your eyes, you look at the tachometer and the needle is out of focus. It's moving too fast, but your speed is indicated at 80 miles an hour and you're only in second gear, and changing feels like a terrifying choice, but you do it anyway. And now you're in third gear and the hurricane begins again. You feel heat pouring around the crankcase, cooking your ankles, and the twin exhaust travels up under your buttocks and out the bike's tail. And the hateful decibels of 13,500 RPM at redline are far behind you. Other automobiles become mall walkers, slow and irrelevant, and gaps in between Nissan Rogues and Acura MDXs appear as wide as a box truck is long, and your initial terror turns to joy as you suddenly realize an R1 is getting stabler and more predictable at these reckless endangerment speeds, and the inverted forks are turning Pennsylvania roads into prepped racetracks, smooth and welcoming, and the short rake of the forks, which make the bite awkward around town, now allows you to change directions at speed with the slightest of movements, and your helmet lines up with the windshield, creating an unbroken stream of air as the bike's from the bike's nose, up over the back, up out the rear. Ever fart at 100 miles an hour? It's exquisite. And then you hit a patch of gravel in a turn. See that? I'll loop this video for a while. Feeling the front tire and then the rear tire skip toward the outside of the corner feels like every fart you ever blasted suddenly coming back inside for a class reunion. It happens so fast. As fast as a flam. If you're a drummer, you'll get that reference. So, history time. Imagine this. It's the early 2000s, and you've just been called one of the most promising young motorcycle racers of your day. And you go on to keep winning. You're riding for Ducati. You win with Ducati. You move on to Honda, which in the early 2000s was the king of MotoGP, and you win. Your name is Valentino Rossi. You're the toast of all the two-wheeled worlds. Everyone knows your name. You are a hero in your home country, and also people know you who aren't even into motorcycles. And then some small-dicked, prissy, uppity, someone who keeps their legs dangling all the way through the intersection when they ride a Harley, some journalist, after your latest win, says, well, Valentino's winning streak has as much to do with Honda's engineering as it does to his skill. You're pissed. The life that you worked so hard for cut down by some naysayers who claim that it was just Honda's great motorcycles that allowed you to win, not your own skill. So what do you do if you're Valentino Rossi? Flip off Honda, just the way you did Ducati. And you know what he did? He said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go from the best manufacturer in MotoGP to the worst. When he made the switch to Yamaha, Yamaha was at the bottom of the barrel. In fact, Yamaha didn't even think they were going to continue their MotoGP program. They were losing so much. And then they got the kid. They got the Kobe of motorcycles, or the Jordan of motorcycles. Honestly, I'd call Valentino Rossi the Wayne Gretzky of motorcycles, because I look at Wayne Gretzky. Wayne Gretzky did more for the sport of hockey, I argue, than Jordan did for the sport of basketball. And Valentino Rossi did more for MotoGP than anybody else. He made it cool. I mean, he was winning races he would take his victory lap with just a blow-up doll on the front of the bike, and yeah, no one was doing that. But he was young, he was beautiful, and he was fun. He seemed like the kind of guy you'd want to hang out with. So when he moved to Yamaha, what he didn't know is that Yamaha was broke. They had so little money in their MotoGP program that if he didn't win something like the first 3 races, that was it. No more MotoGP program for Yamaha. But of course, what did Valentino do? He won. And he kept winning. People even said then he was old. I mean, in the sport of MotoGP, it's almost like MMA. Once you're 30, you're like, well, he's getting old. MotoGP is rough on the body. It may be, well, which is harder, Formula One or MotoGP? Well, we could argue in the comments about that. Anyway, Valentino Rossi won, and he kept winning with Yamaha. The joke of the motorcycle world in racing suddenly became the king. And then suddenly the R1 became the bike to have. Yes, I know, it's not a MotoGP bike. No sport bike is a MotoGP bike. But this is a super bike. This is a race replica. You can buy one of these bikes, put painter's tape over the headlights, get rid of the mirrors, which apparently the previous owner did, put these little bar end mirrors on here. Whoever had this bike had high hopes. Certainly has frame sliders right there and your paddock stand on the back. Maybe if this guy was really serious about racing, he would have got rid of the passenger pegs. But anyway, that's what you do. You can get one of these R1s and go compete in AMA races right away, right out of the showroom. That's what these bikes are made for. And now, the greatest motorcycle rider of all time is riding your bike, or rather, your manufacturer. So suddenly the R1 in the 2000s became the ultimate leader bike. You're not some awkward 20-year-old who doesn't know how to eat pussy yet. No, you're not, because you just got your motorcycle permit, and this is America, where we don't have staged motorcycle licenses. I can go to get a motorcycle permit, not even have a full license, and walk right into a Yamaha dealership and say, "One R1, please." And there are plenty of reels and short-form content and TikToks of people buying these leader bikes and crashing them right out of the dealership, because this bike doesn't tolerate fools. But what an R1 does do, what it does do is give you a little taste of what it might feel like to be a real motorcycle racer. For the people who grew up in the 2000s, you can say, now this is pod racing. Well, it is. This thing will outrun most other vehicles on the road. It will take a Model S Plaid to out-accelerate this. You might even hang with a Dodge Demon. Heck, with this tune, you'd probably pass it. And the crazy thing about the engineering of leader bikes is that the faster they go, the more stable they tend to be. The true racing position of these bikes is this. All the way down. Whoops, my microphone. All the way down. See these little cuts right here below the gas tank? That's where your forearms go, your shoulders go. Your knees cut in to the side of the frame. And your helmet lines up, and you get a beautiful, unbroken stream of air And in this position, you are no longer human. You are some mythic knight, a creature from science fiction. You have unfathomable power and speed over everybody. And Hunter S. Thompson called it the place where the strange music starts, where the edge is. It's strange, us humans, so intent on surviving, intentionally create machines like this to push these meat bodies, these meat bags, these ugly bags of mostly water, faster than they were designed to go, and in the open too. I'm happy they exist. The engineering here is so far beyond a car. To find something that was built this purposeful, you'd have to go to a Lexus LFA, a Ferrari 812 Superfast, a Ford GT, and an R1 can be had new for the same price as a certified pre-owned Toyota Camry. And Instagram channels like What's Good 24/7 has lots and lots of anecdotes about motorcycle accidents being organ donors. And yet, I'm happy these exist. They're a salute to everything great about being human and being aware of our mortal condition. It is simultaneously a death machine and one of the greatest thrills you will ever have. I've gotten the closest thing, like riding this bike miles away from what it's capable of doing gives me the same amount of thrill as learning to land an airplane, which I'm still learning how to do. I got 2 landings, and I have a whopping 6 hours in my logbook. But the sense of purposefulness is alive here. Also in an HST way, it's a grand salute of everything right and true in the human condition. Anyway, this is our last giveaway. No more RCR giveaways. And I'm happy to end it with a motorcycle. In fact, my time with this makes me want a bike again. Maybe not a liter bike, maybe a Yamaha SR400 kickstart. That'd be fun. Little one-lunger. Anyway. So click on the link in the description. The new company is fanning them. Buy some merch, and someone's going to have this Annihilator. This single seat, oh that's right, yeah, they did the single seat mod. The passenger is gone here. The passenger pad is gone. Not that you would ride passenger on a liter bike, holy crap. Why they kept the passenger pegs, I don't know. You can unbolt these if you want. New rubber too. So I'll tell you what, if I had this, I'd be just squaring off the rear tire all the time because that's how I ride. Anyway, click on the link in the description, buy some merch. Thank you for supporting regular car reviews all these years. The channel itself will be changing into, well, we're always going to do reviews, but I'm eager to travel. Australia comes first. Australia has priority. And then we're going to go out and meet more people. Road trips and the like. Good luck. Someone's going to win an R1.